It's KFC back once again with an update from the TikTok world for the people over the age of 25 who don't really care about TikTok but secretly kind of want to know what's going on without having to sign up for it or dive in too deep because that would be embarrassing, but they don't want to be lame and not fully know what's going on. So here's the scoop. BFFs Podcast. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. You remember BFFs skyrocketing. It features 45-year-old man Dave Portnoy and his 19-year-old co-host Josh Richards. Since we last talked, they added a third co-host, Brianna Chicken Fry. She's 21 years old, and somehow she's the older of two co-hosts for 45-year-old man Dave Portnoy. It's simply mind-blowing. Today, Bryce Hall joins the show again. Bryce Hall was previously on BFFs after Alex Cooper, the host of the wildly popular podcast Call Her Daddy, said that he looks like Sid from Ice Age. Bryce Hall had a meltdown because a few weeks ago, he was still a thin-skinned asshole. But it seems like he's kind of grown up, and he has a little bit more of a sense of humor, and he carries himself a little bit more confidently, and so now he's back on the show, and he's actually just kind of hanging with the guys and Bree, just shooting the shit. Now, here's the reason why he's on. Apparently, he's broken up with Addison Rae. Who's Addison Rae? She's one of the OG TikTok girls, along with Charlie D. Emily Lalo, who dances and makes trillions of dollars. She's the one who does this. So, Addison Rae and him have been dating. They've kind of been the it couple on TikTok. But apparently they've broken up. They've been broken up for a month and they've been hiding it. But the cat is out of the bag after Addison Rae called him her ex-boyfriend and then quickly tried to cover it up and be like, oh, no, I mean my boyfriend.
I was driving, okay? I was right before the studio. I had dropped off my ex-boyfriend at the time, or my boyfriend at the time.
Like, who the fuck ever slips up and calls their boyfriend their ex-boyfriend when it's not their ex-boyfriend? Then, 45-year-old man Dave Portnoy continues to pry and poke and prod this boy on whether or not he's actually broken up with his teenage girlfriend. Now, Bryce Hall is the ripe old age of 21, so he's fair game in Dave's world. So, 45-year-old man Dave begins to ask him, when was the last time you talked? Do you guys still hang out? And Bryce Hall reveals to the world that he is simply the worst liar of all time.
Do you still talk to her?
We talk occasionally.
What's occasional?
Like every day.
In the history of couples being together, no couple has ever been more together still than Addison Rae and Bryce Hall. I mean, these two children are trying to tell the world that they are broken up, and they just simply are not. They continue to talk every day. They continue to hang out. They continue to make music together or some shit or do whatever the fuck these kids do. There has never been a couple less broken up than these two kids. But 45-year-old man Dave is not satisfied. He continues to dig and dig. He wants to get to the bottom of it. He wants the truth and nothing but the truth. And Bryce Hall was like, you can't handle the truth. Just kidding. None of that happened. It was just a 45-year-old man who just insisted on getting every single detail about these two children and whether or not they broke up. But in the process, Bryce Hall revealed that Logan Paul, you know Logan Paul, he's my guy. He's the Maverick. He works at the Barstool Sportsbook in Penn. Huge YouTube vlogger, one of the biggest guys on the planet. He's gonna box Floyd Mayweather. That Logan Paul was seen hanging out with Addison Rae on the beach playing beach volleyball. So you can tell that Bryce Hall was a little bit in his feelings, like, yo, dude, why are you hanging out with my girl? Maybe we're broken up, maybe we're not, but she's my girl. You're on the beach playing one-on-one volleyball, which is like, what the fuck is that? How do you play volleyball with just two people? So then 45-year-old man Dave Portnoy starts to connect some dots, and he's like, well, if Logan was hanging out with your girl, we heard some rumors that you were hanging out with Logan's girl, Josie Canseco. She's the daughter of Jose Canseco, who just stole $1 million from Dave Portnoy at the last Rough and Rowdy by taking a dive. So 45-year-old man Dave Portnoy is like, were you hanging out with Logan's girl? Because Logan was hanging out with your girl, a little tit for tat. You steal mine, I steal yours, to which Bryce Hall once again tells the worst lies in the history of the world, being like,
And Josie are like good friends.
Okay.
Like, we're hanging out. Like we're just vibing.
we're just friends, we just hang out a lot. And then 45-year-old man Dave Portnoy is like, swear on the Bible, swear on your parents. And Bryce Hall's like, well, my parents aren't here and neither is the Bible, so I guess I can't do that. Guess what? Now we know that you hooked up with her, bro. Just fucking lie. But Bryce Hall was on the BFFs podcast today to confirm that he's breaking up with Addison Rae, but also basically made it seem like he's still with Addison Rae while also confirming that he was hanging out with Josie Canseco and something might be going on there. So I'm sure he's gonna have some questions when he gets home. Also, 21-year-old Bryce Hall said that a Las Vegas stripper was extorting him for $25,000, saying she was going to tell the world he cheated on his girlfriend with her, even though Bryce swears up and down it didn't happen.
Well, there was an extortion thing involved.
Oh, yeah. She was like, pay me or I'm going to go public.
Yeah. $75,000, yeah.
No shit.
And I said, fuck you. I'm not going to pay you for something that didn't happen.
Now, 45-year-old Dave Portnoy chimed in saying that he gets extorted every single day because, as Dave has explained in the past, he sends his dick around to everybody.
It's illegal. I get extorted like
every
20
day,
times a day,
right?
Literally 20 times
People
a day.
try to extort you in my DMs.
Correct. And every single day. But it is illegal. I didn't know that part of it.
Once again, it was an absolutely preposterous scene of a middle-aged man inserting himself into the lives of young children and needing to know the sex life details of teenagers. But it did lead to an absolutely unbelievable moment when 19-year-old co-host Josh Richards was trying to tell a harmless story about Johnny Manziel and whatever football league he's fucking playing in right now, to which 45-year-old man Dave Portnoy completely cut him off, said, great story, but I need to know where you banging Josie Canseco.
Fumble. He goes to grab the ball. He sees guys are coming. He's just like, turns away, walks away. Doesn't want to get
Love
hit.
that story. Did you hook up with Josie Canseco?
Just the absolute least amount of tact and couth and segueing I maybe have ever seen in podcast history. Later in the podcast, they began talking about this enormous boxing pay-per-view that's going down soon, where it's one side TikTokers, one side YouTubers, a 6-fight card where they all square off against each other, so we can all hope that there's some sort of bomb and the entire arena implodes and all these people are wiped off the face of the earth. Just kidding, but not really. While talking about boxing and training and fighting, Bryce Hall reveals that he's been in between 40 and 50 street fights.
I've been in probably like 40, 50 street fights.
Dude, what? Who are you? Are you fucking like Jean-Claude Van Damme and kickboxer? Are you like from the mean streets or some shit? Like, what are we talking about here? You're like 20 years old. Have you been 50 fights? Floyd Mayweather's been in 50 fights. What do you mean, man? You're like a pretty millionaire who dances in his phone for a living. Why are you so goddamn violent? What's going on, man? You need to retire from fighting. Let me just give you a little bit of friendly advice here, Bryce Hall. You are worth way too much money and have way too much potential to be fighting scrubs in the streets. You break one of these guys' neck or something, your shit is over. Stop fucking fighting. But despite my advice, he's going to get in the ring, I think in April, and fight some fucking YouTuber who also used to be like a basketball player, I think. And he played like hoops for fucking OK State or something like that. So I don't know, man. Bryce Hall, he's dating Addison Rae. Yeah, you are. You're not hooking up with Josie Canseco. Yeah, you are. And you're about to fight some fucking ex-college basketball player with 45-year-old man Dave Portnoy right there to ask you all the questions after it goes down. So tune in next time for another update from the TikTok world for the people of the age of 25 who don't really care about TikTok but seriously kind of want to know what's going on without having to sign up for it to dive in too deep because that would be embarrassing, but I don't want to be lame and not fully know what's going on. So I'll give you the scoop next time.